The new trailer for the Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet DLC is out, and amongst a lot of new information and new footage out of Blueberry Academy and Kitakami, which you can check out my analysis right here, one thing became really apparent, especially on the first part of the trailer. Kitakami is somehow connected to Hisui. This brings a whole new meaning to a lot of things, but that's for another video, because today we will see how that tells us what's coming in the future. So hey, I'm Not So Ace Trainer, and what about Johto? Let's get into it. First, let's go back to Gen 7 when we traveled to Alola and experienced a completely new story and way of playing Pokemon. A lot of different things were part of those games, including the introduction of a new category of Pokemon, regional forms. They were, as the name indicates, different versions of pre-existing Pokemon inspired by the environment of the region they were in. This instantly became a fan favorite feature, and we would see it then in Sword and Shield, but we didn't know it at the time, and it was showing us the future of Pokemon the following game. You see, all of those regional forms were of Kanto Pokemon, the OG 151, and the following game, breaking what we thought we were starting to feel was a pattern, was not the Gen 4 remake people were expecting at the time, but actually a Gen 1 remake. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee came out and even included these regional forms of Cantonian Pokemon, making this the first time they were in a Kanto-based game. So what does that have to do with what's happening right now, and more important of all, what does that have to do with Johto? Well, something kinda similar seems to be happening. It all started with Pokemon Legends Arceus, but not really with their original forms. While these games did give us hisuian Typhlosion, hisuian Qwilfish and Overqwil, hisuian Sneasel and Sneasler, Wyrdeer and Ursaluna, there were also a whole bunch of different Pokemon and evolutions related to various different generations. What really started making people think about Johto was the plot itself and the first reference to Sinjoh since the Arceus event way back in the Art Gold days. Sinjoh is where the people from Sinnoh, that we now know was called Hisui, came together with the people from Johto, hailing from the ruins of Ulf. We now know that Sinnoh was the name given to Arceus, so Johto might be the name given to some other entity. But more important of all, that whole thing left the story of Johto out in the open. Fast forward to Scarlet and Violet and we start seeing even more hints at Johto. It all started with Pokemon like Dunsparce and Giraffare getting new evolutions, followed by Paldean and Wooper being a thing as well. But again, the other Pokemon from other regions also got stuff like Primeape getting Annihilape and Tauros getting its forms as well. So we fast forward a bit more and we get the new trailer for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, more specifically the Kitakami part. From the beginning, we knew Kitakami was different. It clearly had a more traditional Japanese vibe to it, which put people's eyes on the earlier generations and regions. But in this last trailer, we saw it with our own eyes, hisuian Growlithe statues right there. Not only that, clearly Yanma is a big thing in Mosui, and Gligar and Aipom get the spotlight as version-exclusive Pokemon. So we have a connection to Hisui, which in turn opened up the doors to the Sinjoh story, and a lot of love for the Gen 2 Pokemon. I don't know if it is my nostalgia talking, but I'm thinking that Johto is coming next. If you watch my video about the future of Pokemon, you know that this isn't a new thing for me. I really think that the Switch broke the previous pattern of releases, and now we'll have a different one. Instead of getting Gen 5 right now, Gen 2 will be here before. And honestly, I think they have all the tools to make this a perfect release. I am almost certain that there will be a Legends game in the future. I'm gonna be honest, I would rather have that on a new console or with a bit more time in the oven, but that's how Game Freak works. Legends Arceus was the first of its kind and it was mostly well received, so the formula is there already and they only have to work from it. And to that, we need to add the fact that we don't need to get a completely new release of a Gen 2 remake. I'm going to be honest, if it was well made, I wouldn't mind at all a BDSP style remake or a Let's Go style remake of Gen 2, I love those games, but in order to save resources and time, why not release the originals? Game Boy games are on the Switch and have been for a while. We never had any mention of Pokemon games coming to the console, sure, but it is impossible to imagine creating a virtual console service on the Switch for their portable consoles and not add one of their biggest franchises. So imagine if, instead of a new remake, we just have Pokemon Gold, Silver and Crystal on the console. People would be able to play them, trading them and even battling them. And then, when a new audience was already familiarized with Gen 2, release the Legends game. I know this isn't how they would approach this, they love making the remakes, but it is a big missed opportunity in my opinion. The games are loved, the games run well, have a lot of content, they would surely keep people interested for quite a while, and even with Pokemon Home, they could send Pokemon from Gen 2 to Pokemon Home directly. All of what I said is speculation, of course, but what is undeniable though is the recent references to Hisui and Johto Pokemon, and how they are likely leading into a revisit to that beloved region. It is still early to say if there will be even more about Hisui or Johto in Kitakami, but as things look now, I'm sure we are not done with all of the references. Also, wouldn't it be really cool to see a new cross-gen evolution for Gligar and Apom? I would absolutely love that. But anyway, that is all I have for you today. Call it wishful thinking, call it nostalgia, but I would absolutely love going to Johto next. But what about you? Where do you think we are going? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content, and also ring the bell so you know when the next video is out. You can follow me on social media and Twitch, as I'm there Wednesday to Sunday, not Saturday, or join our Discord. All the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.